Okay, students, good afternoon. So, today in the revision class, we will start the topic, or rather, new chapter, that is the French Revolution. French Revolution. So, this is the chapter of history. Then we will see different region. What were the different regions? That why that revolution started in France? What were the conditions? What were the conditions because of that revolution occurred? So revolution, if we say that about any revolution, it is one sort of change that is occurring mostly for the better conditions. No doubt, in any country, conditions are not so good. So in that case, this type of revolution occurring. So this is one of the revolution which we will be discussing in detail. So what happened on 14th July morning in the year 1789? That on the morning of 14th July 1789, the city of Paris, the capital of France, that was in the state of alarm. There was one sort of alarm that given in the Paris on 14th July 1789. And king had ordered the army or troops to move into the city, and there were some rumors that spread into that area that king is going to order the army to open the fire upon the citizens anytime. So that was some sort of havoc created because of that rumor. Some 7,000 men and women, some 7,000 men and women, they gathered in front of town hall that was in Paris and decided to form a people's militia. That means all together they will fight against the troops. That sort of people's militia they have formed. So they broke into number of government building in search of arms, because they were in need of arms, because without arms how they are going to fight against the troops of the king. So for that they have just demolished many government building in search of arms. Finally, a group of several hundreds of people, they marched towards the eastern part of the city, and they stormed into a fortress prison. What was the fortress prison? That was Bastille, where they hoped that they will get the hoard of ammunition. That means in that region, they were hoping that there must be some ammunition or that weapons. Because of that, if they get that weapons, they will fight against the troops. Of course, they could get, and in that prison, they have killed that commander of that Bastille prison, and they have released all the prisoners. Of course, there were seven only, but still they have released all the prisoners. So Bastille, that was hated by all. Why? Because this prison that was symbolizing the despotic power of the king. This Bastille prison that was symbolizing that a despotic power of the king. That's why they have demolished that fortress building. So fortress building was demolished, and the stone fragments were sold in the market to every those who wish to keep the remains of that destruction. Many people they think that this is symbolizing the despotic power of king. That's why these remain, or that fragments, stone fragments, they were sold to these type of people, those who are wishing to buy it. So this was the condition, or that was the event, or that you can say that was the starting of French Revolution on 14th July 1789. Then the day that followed saw the more rioting both in Paris and even countryside. So this was not only in Paris, this happened in the country, or you can say rest part of the country also, that is countryside or village side. Most people were protesting against the high price of bread. At that time, the price of bread, that bread was the staple diet of or staple food of people in France. So they were protesting against that high price of bread. Later on, when historians look back upon this time, they saw that it is the beginning of a chain of the events that that ultimately led to the execution of the king. So many events happened after that. After that, the 14th July 1789, and that led to execution of the king in France. So that was the condition. The ruler or that king was executed in one of the chain of that events in France. So how does it happen and why it has happened? What were the conditions? Because of that, people they have taken that big step to execute even the king. So that we will go in the flashback, or rather what happened in France. Because of that, people were very people were living in a worst condition, and they have taken that big step. Okay, so next topic, the France or French society during the late 18th century. How the France or French society that was in the late 18th century. See, from the initial, we can say initially we will see that in 1774, King Louis XVI of Bourbon family, that was a King Louis XVI of Bourbon family, he ascended the throne of France in 1774. He was 20 years old only. Then he got married to Austrian Princess Mary Antoinette. At the age of 20 only, he was married with Austrian Austrian Princess Mary Antoinette. Then, after his success, accession, then empty. When he was ascended at throne, that time the treasury was empty. Why? Because long years of war, they have drained the financial resources of Francis, of France. That means the many kings, they have fought many wars for France. Then naturally the treasury that was empty because of that only. And in that condition, the cost of maintaining an extravagant court at the immense palace of Versailles. So naturally, there is a lot of expenditure done on the palace of Versailles, where the king and the queen they were living. Under Louis XVI, France helped the 13 American colonies to gain their independence, that is from common enemy, that is Britain. So ruler of France, or that king of France, they have helped 13, 13 the colonies of USA for getting their, or to gain their independence from their common enemy Britain. So the war added many, you can say many more than a billion livre to debt that had already risen to more than 2 billion livre. Livre is, that was the currency of France at that time. So that debt that was keep increasing because of that they have taken loan to fight these many wars. Along with that, treasury was almost empty. Then lenders, those who gave the loan to the king of France, they have started asking their money with a 10% interest on that money. So those who have given the money on loan to the king of France, they have started asking their loan. So French government that was obliging to spend an increasing percentage of its budget on many type of things to meet these type of regular expenses like maintaining the army, court, running the government offices, and even universities. So these require a lot of money. So these things that were to be maintained, no doubt in that, by a king. So a lot of money that was also required for this maintenance. So, and even this condition, that condition of that time in France, that was quite grim. So because of that, king need to increase the tax. So that was the system. How the French society was divided, and how the king, they were taking different type of tax from different societies. So in that case, French society was divided into three categories. So three categories are: first state, that was known as clergy, having the church people. Second state, that was nobility, all the nobles of the king. Then third state, they were consisting of big businessmen, merchants, court people, lawyer, peasants, artisans, small peasants, landless laborer, and servants. So these all together, they were consisting in third state. So what was the condition at that time? The first and second state, clergy and nobility, they were not paying any sort of tax, but they were enjoying all privileges given by that king. But third state, third state, they were paying all the taxes to king, and they were not given any type of privileges. So this was the condition. First and second, that is clergy and nobility, they were not paying any type of tax, whereas they were getting all the privileges, all the facilities they were enjoying. Where but third state, they were not they were paying all the taxes and not given any type of taxes also. So the population, mostly the third state, that were having maximum population, and they were paying all the taxes and not getting any sort of the privilege. So this was the reason, one of the reason they were feeling it, but again they could not do. Many times they have fought against this type of system made by the government, that king, but nothing can be done, or nothing could be done at that time. One more thing, it was there in France, the France society or state, that was a part of feudal system also. What was the feudal system in the Middle Ages? That all the landowners, they were giving their land for cultivation to all the peasants, and they were taking maximum benefit out of that, and the peasants were given very less, even not as per their labor also. So this was the condition that was almost practiced in फ्रांस, दैट वाज फ्यूडल सिस्टम, जमींदारी सिस्टम जिसको बोल सकते हैं. दैट ऑल द लैंड ओनर्स, जो जमींदार लोग थे, वो पेजेंट्स को अपनी खेती क्रॉप्स उगाने के लिए देते थे, एंड दे वर टेकिंग मैक्सिमम प्रोड्यूस फ्रॉम देम, एंड दे वर गिवन वेरी लेस, even less than their labor also. So the most of the land, as I said, that most of the land that was owned by you can say nobles and church people, and even the rich members of third estate also. 60% land was owned by either nobles church people or even rich members of third estate. Then as this two type of taxes were started, main taxes that were, one is tithe. Tithe, that was a tax that was started by the church people, that was 1/10 of the agricultural produce. So tithe was the tax which was started or levied by the church people, and that were to be given by the all the peasants their 1/10 of produce. Then another one is tale. Tale was a direct tax given to the state, or that was given to the kingdom only, or that you can say king. So these were the taxes system. Very important question for 1 mark, that is what type of taxes, that is tithe and tele. Then comes the struggle to survival. There was a condition again created in France. Because of that, survival of the people in France, that was very difficult. So how does it happen? So the population of France, that rose from 23 million, that was in 1715, to 28 million in 1789. So there was an increase in population, that was from 23 million to 28 millions. So that led to a rapid increase in demand of food grains. Naturally, when population increases, then demand, that is also increases. But again, production should be also increased, and that was not increased. So whatever production was there, that was very less in that case. So that could not keep the pace with the demand. So that production, that could not fulfill the demand of people, rather increased population. So prices of bread, which was the staple diet of majority of people, that rose rapidly. The prices of bread, that rose rapidly. Most workers that were employed as laborer in workshop, those owners fixed their wages. Some people, they were working in the you can say workshop nearby in that area. So their wages, that were also fixed, and these wages were not increased also, because the prices were risen all the way. Then they were finding difficulties in that for their survival. So in that case, the gap between poor and rich, that was also widened. So people becoming very poor, and some rich, they were becoming quite rich. So that gap was widened. The things become worsen when the drought or hail reduce the harvest. So sometimes that also happened because of the crops that were damaged by hails or even drought. So that worsened the condition more than earlier also. So that led to a subsistence crisis in France. What is the subsistence crisis? They were they were facing very difficulty for the survival. जीने के लिए भी उनके लिए खाने के लिए नहीं मिल रहा था. That was the condition that uh, that occurred in France at that time. So what happened along with that situation? A middle class that started from the third estate, a middle class that merged in the, we can say, third estate, and that was given a special task. That was given a special task. That was the starting of, you can say, merging of the conditions in revolution. So what happened in that? In the past, as I said, peasants and workers, they were participating in some sort of revolt against the increasing tax and increasing taxes and food scarcity. Whenever there is a food scarcity, and even there was any increase in the taxes, peasants and workers, they were having some sort of revolt in the past. But as they lacked the means and programs to carry out the full scale measures against the king. That means they were not having that much resources, or that they were not that much rich, or even they were not having that much good mind also to fight for a long period against these conditions. So what they have done, so this was left to those people, those who have become prosper, and they were having some sort of education also. So these peoples, those who are fighting against the king, against the, you can say, despotic rules made by the king, when they were not having that much even resources and education, so they left that work to that particular group, those who were quite prosper, and those who were access to education also. So in that 18th century, there was a special social group named as middle class. So that was the uh, middle class given the name. And in that middle class, the people that were involved, those who were having the wealth through their overseas trade and from the manufacturing of the goods such as woolen and silk textile. So from their business, they have earned a lot of money, and even because of that, they could get the education also. So in addition to the merchants and manufacturers, the third estate, including professions such as lawyers or administrative officials, they were also included in middle class. And those who were educated and believed that no group in the society should be privileged by birth, these things were given to the people, that these privileges that should not be given by birth, and that were given to clergy people and even nobility people. In this, ideas of so many philosophers like John Locke and Jean-Jacques Rousseau, they have played a very important role to motivate the third estate people to fight against the king. So in one of the book, Two Treatises of Government, John Locke, he has told to the people that there should not be any refute the doctrine of the divine. That means people should not think that the king is everything, and even there should not be any absolute right given to monarch. Means we should not think that he is a divine, that monarch or the king is a divine. Rousseau, he carried out that idea forward to the people, and he told that there should be a government based on social contract between people and their representative. There should be there should be a social contract as per the Rousseau, that the government should be made with a social contract between people and their representative. And another by the another philosopher, that is Montesquieu, the spirit, he has written one book, The Spirit of the Laws. What he advocated, that there should be a division of power within the government between legislative, executives, and judiciary. So this was the uh, you can say idea given by Montesquieu, then about the distribution of power, about the distribution of power in his book, The Spirit of the Laws, that power should be distributed among the legislature, the executives, and the judiciary. This model of the government they have seen in that USA, when that 13 colonies declared independence from Britain. So in all the 13 their what we can say colonies, this model of division of power that was started in USA, and that was quite successful. So these were the some philosopher, those who motivated the people, and they really played very important role in France at that time. The ideas of these philosophers that were discussed intensively in saloons, coffee houses, and everywhere, even the bookshops also, and even in newspaper, these philosophers' ideas that were, you can say, discussed. So these were frequently read out aloud in the groups, and for the benefit of the people, those who could not read and write. For the people, or you can say for illiterate people, these ideas of this philosopher, they were read aloud, or they were read out, and people were getting benefit from these ideas. The news that Louis XVI planned to impose further taxes that was to be able to meet expense of the stages generated anger and protest against the system of privileges. When this was the condition, people were motivated by these philosophers, and at the same time, the king, he proposed to increase the tax by a system that was followed in France at that time. So, what was the impact of that making of that middle class out of third state? That we will see in the next topic, that is the outbreak of the revolution. Outbreak of the revolution means how the revolution that was started immediately. King Louis, King Louis XVI, he had to increase the taxes for the reason what we have learned in the previous section. But again, there was a system that was followed by even old regimes of monarch in the France. Any time they were to increase the any type of taxes, the king was not taking the decision at his own. There was a, you can say, state general. There was a state general that was deciding that how much tax to be increased. There was a meeting of all the, you can say, representative of three categories, or you can say French society. So what system they were having, to increase the tax anytime, there was a meeting of state general, and all the, that was a political body in France that was taking this type of decision. So there was a last meeting of this state general that was in 1614. So on 5th May 1789, Louis XVI that called a meeting in the that meeting of States General to pass a proposal for new taxes. For increasing the tax, he has just called a meeting of State General. Then there is a resplendent hall that was in Versailles that was prepared for this type of meeting. Then the first and second states, they sent 300 representatives each. Means 300 representatives, they were from clergy, and another 300 representatives, they were from nobility. They were sitting in the first row, and even other, that is 600 members of third state, they were standing at the back. So this was also a situation that first and second states, that was clergy and nobility, they were sitting at the front, whereas 600 representatives of third state, they were standing at the back. Then what was the system of, you can say, vote? The third state, they were represented by its more prosperous and educated members. The representatives of third state, they were the people, those who were quite prosperous and educated, and others, that peasants, artisans, women, they were not allowed to attend this type of meeting from third state. However, their grievances and complaints, they were just included in the you can say some of the letter, like some 40,000 letters which were given to representatives, they have brought with them in the meeting. That means artisans, peasants, women, they were not allowed in the meeting in any case. But even their complaints and grievances, they were included by members, those who were representing that meeting. Then voting of state general in the past, that had been conducted according to the principle of each state had one vote. Means what was the system of voting in the you can say that state general, that one vote that was with the clergy, second vote that was with nobility, and third state that was also having one vote. Means individually all the you can say three category having one vote each. So this time too Louis XVI determined to continue with the same practice. So this Louis XVI, this time also he wished to continue with the same system, but members of third state, they demanded that voting now should be conducted by the assembly as a whole, or where that each member would have one vote and each member will vote in the state general. That existing system that was rejected by that third state people, those who were attending that meeting. So this was not agreed by the king. This was again this demand of third state people that was rejected by the king. So what happened? They have boycotted the assembly, or they have boycotted the meeting, and they just assembled on 20th June 1789, and where they assembled, that was the indoor tennis court. In the ground they have assembled, and they have declared themselves as a national assembly, and they have taken a pledge. So they declared them as a national assembly, and they have taken the pledge that they will not disperse till they had drafted a constitution for France that would limit the power of the monarch. They have taken the pledge. उन्होंने एक pledge ली that we will not disperse. हम यहाँ से नहीं जाएंगे जब तक हम फ्रांस के लिए नया कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन नहीं बना ले. और वो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन किस लिए बनाना था? टू लिमिट द पावर ऑफ द मोनार्क, दैट इज द किंग. राजा की पावर को कम करने के लिए they were just they have taken the pledge to make a new constitution for France. Then they were led by Mirabeau and Abbé. Mirabeau was born in a noble family, but he was convinced of need to do away the society as a feudal privilege. Mirabeau, that he was from a noble family, but again he was with this third state. Then he brought one general and delivered a powerful speech to the crowds assembled at Versailles. Abbé, originally a priest, wrote an influential pamphlet called "What is the Third State?" They were all together with the third state people. They also had they also favored the third state people, that whatever it is happening with them, that is not good. Then one more thing happened at that time. While the National Assembly was quite busy at Versailles drafting a constitution, rest of the France that was in turmoil. What was the turmoil? एक बहुत बड़ी मुसीबत में आ गया था. A severe winter had meant a bad harvest and prices of bread rose. What happened at that time? किसी एक winter season के अंदर उनकी जो फसल थी, that crops were ruined, उसका उनकी फसल डैमेज हो गई थी, and again that prices of bread rose. इतने ज़्यादा हो गए थे that often bakers exploited the situation and hoarded the supply. जो bakers, जो bread बनाने वाले थे, what they have done? they have exploited the situation. उनको लगा कि situation that is now grim, so they have taken more you can say price for bread, and sometimes they hoarded the supply. वो अपनी supply को means अपने stock को रोक के रखते थे, and they were telling that that is exhausted. So after spending the hours in long queue at the bakery, crowds of angry women, they stormed in the shop. So when the shopkeepers or bakers, they were behaving like that, then that angry women, they stormed into the shop. At the same time, king ordered the troops to move into the Paris. Then this situation created in the market of Paris. So that was the time that king ordered his troops to move into Paris. That was, we can say, on 14th July, the agitated crowd stormed and destroyed the Bastille prison. So this is connected with the same event, that is, or same incident that was on 14th July 1789. Then one more situation created in France. In the countryside, there was a rumor spread in the village that lords of the manor had hired bands of brigands who were on their way to destroy the ripe crops. So that was again a rumor that the landowners, they hired some of the people, and that landlords, they are just sending them to destroy the ripen crop. पकी हुई फसल को destroy करने वाले हैं. That was the plan of that manor, or means you can say landowners. The court in frenzy, that people, peasants, they were in anxiety. They were very worried about that after listening that rumor that if the people, hired people, they are going to destroy their crops, then what will happen? So what they have done, when they were planning, what they have done, they have counter attacked to the people, or to, you can say, landlords. So what they have done, peasants in several districts seized the whole, and the pitchforks, they have taken their weapons. They taken their weapons and attacked cheetoks. Cheetoks कौन होते हैं? They were the stately residents belonging to king or nobleman. जो nobleman और king के आदमी होते थे, उनको cheetoks बोलते थे. So the peasants looted, hoarded grain, and burned down their documents containing records of manorial dues. Manorial dues क्या होते हैं? That people that in the feudal system, they were having some record that to whom they have given that their land. So they have looted, hoarded grains, whatever they were having the stock, they have looted them, and even they have burned all the documents that were containing some sort of information in that. Okay. Then a large number of nobles that fled from their homes, and many of them migrated to neighboring countries. So that when peasants attacked on the people, what they have done, they have migrated from that place, and even they went somewhere where they can get the shelter. So this was the condition again in France. So that was another situation that could cause the revolution. So faced with these type of powers, especially revolting subjects, Louis XVI finally accorded the recognition to the National Assembly and accepted the principle that his powers would now as per their constitution. So finally, that Louis XVI, he could realize that now the situation is out of control. So he accorded the recognition of National Assembly. उसने National Assembly को accept किया, and he told that whatever you will do, I will accept. On the night of 4th August 1789, the Assembly passed a decree abolishing the feudal system of obligation and taxes. So that National Assembly on 4th August 1789, they have passed a decree मतलब the temporary rule they have made. By that they have abolished feudal system, फ्यूडल जो फ्यूडल सिस्टम चल रहा था, दे हैव अबोलिश दैट, एंड इवन दे हैव अबोलिश्ड द टैक्सेस ऑल्सो. Members of clergy, they were they were forced to give up their privileges. Then the clergy and nobility, they were having some sort of privileges, they were forced to give up these privileges. Tithes were abolished. Land owned that was by church people was confiscated. That is confiscated. That means whatever the church was owning any type of land, वो उनसे वापस ले ली गई, छीन ली गई. एंड इवन tithe that tax which was taken by the church people, that was also abolished. So this was the you can say reforms done by National Assembly after that revolution. Not only that, what happened after that? As a result, the government acquired assets worth at least 2 billion leverage. तो उसके बाद उनसे जो उनकी प्रॉपर्टी छीन ली गई थी, उससे उनको कितनी कमाई हुई? दैट वाज क्वाइट गुड अमाउंट. दैट वाज 2 बिलियन leverage. Well, then comes France becomes a constitutional monarchy after that. तो फ्रांस में से मोनार्की सिस्टम हट गई थी, एंड द किंग एक्सेप्टेड द नेशनल असेंबलीज you can say rules and regulation. So with that we can say that France became a constitutional monarchy. What is that meaning of constitutional monarchy? The monarch, the king will rule the country but as per the constitution. So that is the meaning of constitutional monarchy. So that is the system still existing in the world, that is Great Britain. In Britain, that constitutional monarchy is still followed. So National Assembly completed the draft of the constitution in 1791. So that constitution was prepared in 1791. Its main object was to limit the powers of the monarch. इसकी मेन एम क्या था? To limit the powers of monarch. So these powers were, instead of being concentrated in the hands of a single person, these powers were again divided into legislature, executive and judiciary. So this made the France a constitutional monarchy system. Then another system that was made in France after that constitution of 1791, they have vested the power to make the laws in National Assembly, and which was indirectly elected also. So that means some voting rights that were to given to some people. So they have made two group, that is active citizen group and passive citizen group. So in this active citizen group, what one criteria they have made, that only the citizens, they will be given the right to vote, those who are attaining 25 years of age, only men, only in the men category, those who attain the age of 25 years, and those who can pay the tax equal to at least 3 days of labor wages. So that was again that prosper people, they were only given their voting right, and those who attain the age of 25 years age. So that was the condition of the voting rights given to only men, those who attain the age of 25 years, and even those who are able to pay the tax that is equal to 3-day wages of labor. Then in the passive citizen group, remaining men and women, they were treated as, you can say, passive citizen. So they were not having any type of voting rights in France. Then the constitution began with the declaration of rights of men and citizen. So that constitution in France, that was started with the Declaration of Rights of Man and Citizen. And in this chart or in this charter, what type of rights and freedom given to the people? That was rights such as right to life. This was the right given to the people of France after that constitution started. Right to life, freedom of speech, then freedom of opinion, equality before law. These were the different rights and freedom given, and these were treated as natural and inalienable rights, and that were given to every human beings. Okay, so this was the condition in France after the revolution. So this is all about the topic for today. I think it is sufficient. Then we will see rest of the things in next class. So by the time we can leave the meeting, God bless you. Thank you for joining. Thank you very much.